Hello all, and welcome to tonight's beer review, which I am going to dub the Industrious Beer Review because I did very many things today. So, currently it is past 9 o'clock. Why is it so late? Because I ate dinner, and of course, because I have trouble with, you know, I don't like getting my flavors mixed up. So I decided to do the review a little bit later after dinner, give me some time to go and clear the palate, you know, clear whatever rhinitis I get. And of course, also to the endless problems with this 10-year-old piece of crap camera, which literally, when you compare it to like the reviews I do with my cell phone, it's like my cell phone camera is better than this thing already. And yeah, I'm sick of it. I need to go and update my gear kit, but I currently live in existence where if like my car goes and breaks down again, I have no idea what I'm going to do with regards to work, regards to laundry, regards to groceries. Because, hey, car-centric society, people. Anyways, so what are we reviewing tonight? We are reviewing something from Beer Lab Hawaii. And that is, of course, the brewery in Hawaii that specializes in somewhat out there brews. And this one is called Berry Afraid. This is 5.4 ABV. And this is, as you can probably guess by the fruit name, a fruited sour. Now, it contains raspberries, blueberries, and cherries. So, I'm looking forward to trying it. It wasn't what I was originally going to get when I was going down to Three Peaks, but they were out of what I wanted, so I kind of just decided on this one. So, without much further ado, into the pint glass it goes. If I can get this open. I always go and do it super tight. Like, after they close it, I go and cinch it a knot, just because, I'm kind of afraid of losing carbonation. Oh, wow. They really topped it off today, man. It's all the way to the brim. Kind of a fermented fruit smell there. And let's go and give it something of a vigorous pour so we can get a little bit of a head here. So, A. Purplish red. Cloudy purplish red. With a fizzy to frothy lavender pink head. That is redolent of very fermented smelling fruit. And funk. Just very slight funk, not like all the way towards wild ale, but kind of on the funky side. Like I said, the fruit smells fermented. It smells like it's been through the fermenter. And I'm not really able to go and suss out. I can smell a cherry, but I can't really discern the blueberry from the raspberry. Which I should probably note, I've never actually eaten fresh raspberries before in my life. I live in Hawaii. Raspberries don't grow here, and as many of you may know, raspberries don't transport very well. I guess I've never had a chance to go and try raspberry jam, something that's actually made with real raspberries as opposed to fake raspberry flavoring. Okay, onto the palate now, shall we? Um, well, let's start with the good. It's refreshing. Uh, but other than that, it's mildly disappointing. There's tartness in the finish, but it's fairly muted. And I'm not really getting much fruit on the palate. There's some in the front, but there's mostly that sort of fermented taste. There's a brief, slight flash of it in the mids. But this is like the first sour where I can say, yeah, I can get a real feel of the malt body here, which is crackery. And that's just because the adjunct level, at least flavor wise, is so muted, and tartness is pretty muted too. I've had like some widespread, I'd say Otra Vez is actually a bit more sour, from Sierra Nevada, which is basically the mainstream sour. Which is kind of surprising to me how muted the fruit aspect is, because from the coloration, you can tell they used quite a bit of it in the brew process. The fruit is really strongest in the effervescent top note. So berry afraid. I'm very afraid that I'm not getting much berry. Well, when you're at Beer Lab Hawaii and you're constantly putting out new beers, one of their things is they never recreate the same beer. They're not going to hit all of them out of the park. And I have to say, I probably review only a fraction of the beers they brew. Because, like I said, they're constantly just doing new beers. That's all they do is new beers. There's no, you know, they have no regular roster or standbys. It's always something new. And a lot of them is pushing the edge like this. So, not all of them are going to be hits out of the park, home runs, or even a basic bunt. And I've pretty much milked all the baseball metaphors I have because I don't actually watch baseball. I mean, by no means is it bad. There's no off flavors here. It's just there's not much flavor. I'm pretty sure if you're new to sours, though, you're going to find it sour. I mean, it is tart. But, you know, in regards to tartness, if it has a low level of acidity, if it has a low perceived sourness, I'm expecting a little bit more to be going on there to kind of, have the sourness as, part an instrument in an orchestra of flavors and scents. This one, sourness is just like a lonely oboe playing by itself, and you kind of hear in the distance, some sort of string, but you can't make out if it's a violin or viola, or maybe some sort of weird erhu or something like that, because it's so quiet. And those are the berries. So yeah, on the positive side, if you want to introduce someone to sours, well, this is not going to go and overly. It's not going to overly shock them, I suppose, since the tartness is so rather muted. It's just like the color is interesting. I just wish the flavor and smell was as intense as the color. And I've kind of run out of things to say about this beer. Next week, I'm looking to probably review a few more interesting and, against my better judgment, pricier things for December, before the month of December ends. As you know, January is dry January. I'm also probably going to be going on a diet because only 3 pants fit me anymore. Uh, so, yeah, very afraid. Um, it's not terrible, but you know, it's not it's not great either. Well, folks, that is your beer review for tonight. Cheers.